I mean, I don't want to say never, because I never thought we'd see a talking raccoon or a universe made out of paint in the MCU. And yet, here we are. As far as weapons go, the MCU is chock full of them. But let's take a look at some comic weapons that we may never see on the big screen. The Ultimate Nullifier is probably the most powerful weapon in the existence that is Marvel Comics. It's basically an out for any writer to be like, see, Stretchy Man can beat Galactus, he has the Ultimate Nullifier. Whether you think it's a cop-out or not, that doesn't change its ability to completely erase entire universes. It's known to have serious effects on the user, sometimes even erasing them if they are not careful. The reason this will probably never be seen in the MCU is that it's just too powerful, and truthfully, it takes too much comic logic to explain how it works. Comic logic, which I'm sure we'll mention again, is the notion that anything can be explained away by saying, hey man, it's a comic book. The Ultimate Nullifier probably won't make an appearance until the MCU is ready to delete itself, and I don't see that happening. Believe it or not, the Ultimate Nullifier isn't even the most powerful weapon we're gonna talk about. There's swords, cosmic entities, and even unknown universal quantities that all sound really cool, but unfortunately we will never see them. Speaking of comic logic, let's talk about the Tactigon. A personal favorite of mine, the Tactigon can analyze the weakness of any opponent, and then transform into whatever weapon the user needs to exploit that very weakness. The reason? Comics, man! We've seen people conjure weapons from seemingly nowhere. Doctor Strange uses his magic, and Tony even was able to use nanotech to make weapons appear. But I'm pretty sure you'd have way too short of a movie if someone had a weapon that just did all the work for them. Speaking of work, hit that like and subscribe button, and maybe we will send you your very own Tactigon in the mail. Big maybe. There are plenty of swords to choose from. Heck, this whole list could be swords we'll never see.
Write that down, write that down!
Though shockingly enough, we've already seen a couple. Dragon Fang was the sword of the Valkyrie, the Twilight Sword wielded by Surtur, and of course the Necrosword, which Gore used to lay waste to a bunch of gods, off-screen. One I fear we will never see, however, is the Muramasa Blade. This sword, made from adamantium, was made for Wolverine, but it also possesses a piece of his soul. This means it is one of the only weapons that can actually kill him. Sounds cool, and I don't think the MCU is against some spiritual freakiness, but I can't imagine when they finally introduce Wolverine that they will have along with him a weapon that could already kill him. No chance.
Wolverine, snickety, snoring.
Ah, the Cosmic Cubes. I know what you're thinking. Hey, stupid voice guy, the MCU already had one of those. It's called the Tesseract. Well, to you I say, shut up! In the comics, there are several Cosmic Cubes. They each wield a certain amount of cosmic power and are often powerful weapons in their own right. In the MCU, however, the Tesseract, or Cosmic Cube, was simply altered to be a storage container for one of the 6 Infinity Stones. Thanos showed how useless the cube itself was when he crushed it in his hand. Because of this retcon, I don't think we'll ever see the actual Cosmic Cubes come to be. And they're not the only things that would struggle to share the spotlight with currently existing MCU weapons. Just you wait. The Ultra Diode Ray is one of Kang's favorite weapons. And yes, it's true, I may be eating my own words by the time this very video is released, assuming Kang came to conquer, but the Ultra Diode Ray was actually used by a variant of his called Rama-Tut. The purpose of the Ultra Diode Ray is to take away the superpowers of anyone. You know what I'm gonna say. Comic logic. It's not like every superpowered person in the MCU has compound V running through their veins that can just be burned out by an escaped nuclear experiment. There's no logical way to explain the power of the Ultra Diode Ray, which is why I don't think we will ever see it. Kang may wield something with the same name, but I'll eat my left shoe if it has the same ability that it does in the comics. There is only enough room for one eye of something in the MCU, unless of course they decide to do Original Sin, in which case bring on the Watcher's Eye will make room. But one that we will likely never see is the evil Eye of Avalon. It's a very powerful weapon that can manipulate and disintegrate matter. The problem with its place in the MCU? It sounds way too similar to the Eye of Agamotto. That's really it. The MCU has even changed certain weapons already that have similarities to other weapons that exist in their universe. The evil Eye of Avalon is so obscure that I think the creators of the MCU will just do without it. But having it compete with one of Doctor Strange's most well-known weapons is all the reason they need to keep it on the bench. At least Avalon will be able to see now? Okay, stop me when you've heard this one before. Incredible, magical stones of immense power, often used by a godlike figure to enact his will. Of course, I'm talking about the Norn Stones. Admittedly, they are second-rate to another set of stones, though it is said at times that they could overpower the Infinity variety. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see them. Their similarity to the Infinity Stones likely means that they will be on the back burner forever. Heck, the MCU changed the 10 rings into bracelets because strong items that go on the villain's fingers were too similar to the Infinity Gauntlet. Unfortunately, when Loki goes up against Kang, I don't think he will have the Norn Stones in his pocket. Did someone say overpowered? What could be more powerful than a literal unknown quantity capable of destroying just about anything? Believed to be omnipotent and all-powerful, the weapon known as the Heart of the Universe has left even the greatest beings in the cosmos dumbfounded. No one knows how this incredible weapon came to be, not even the living tribunal. It's been used by Thanos to usurp even the one above all. So why couldn't it show up in the MCU? Well, for that exact reason. It's just too powerful to explain away. Heck, they throw it in there in an alternate universe, Thanos probably uses it to overthrow Kevin Feige. Don't you worry, these weapons may not get to see any game time, but there are plenty more to choose from. And who knows? I never thought we'd see all black the Necrosword or even the 10 rings, and yet here we are. Which Marvel weapon do you think will never make it to the big screen?